company I worked for started getting into optimization. I was fortunate to have the nationwide expert in optimization working out of our office. I was able to bring him on appointments and kind of learn the optimization and organic side of search through him. And at that point, not really planning on starting my own business. I spent 6 quality years there, and then approximately 3 years ago, started my own business, SearchLink. We are a small growing business, and I will touch more on exactly what we do later on. I have some certifications through Google in terms of reselling their products. But let me go over what I'm going to cover today. The first thing I'm going to cover are the 3 main areas of the search results page on Google. I'm going to use Google as a search results example for today. I simply don't have the time to go over each and every search engine out there. Secondly, I'm going to touch on online reviews, and I'll be addressing, where they are located. There's several different sites. I will show you where they are located on Google, and also I can address how to do a review, and also a hot topic is how to get reviews off that you may not like that are on there. Thirdly, I'm going to address the local results section, which is what we specialize in. And I can get into the ranking process and the optimization that we do for the local results section. Fourth, I'm going to address mobile applications and new offerings. Google Maps application is one of the most downloaded mobile apps right now, and I'll get into that. And also some of the new offerings Google has recently rolled out. Lastly, I will talk about the company SearchLink as a whole, and then answer any questions any of you may have. So moving on, I'm going to actually pull up an example of a search on Google. This search on Google is for engine repair Chicago, a very common search in the Chicagoland area. The auto industry receives a ton of search traffic, engine repair being one example. I'm bringing this example up because it really illustrates all the different areas on Google where you are able to advertise or appear. You'll notice on the top section, essentially, is the local section, and that is what my company specifically specializes in. You'll see the A, the B, the C. That section, you will see the business name. Obviously, below the business name, you will see a link to the website, and also the address if you choose to have your address posted. I do work with some contractors and some individuals that work out of their house that choose not to actually have their address posted, and that is an option. Also show what city you're from, and then obviously your phone number. If one were to click directly on the business name, you can go right to the business website, or you can click on the place page and it'll go to the Google Place page, which I will touch on in just a moment. Below the local section on the left-hand side, you will see the regular organic section. This is an alternative to pay-per-click. And this process, if you hear the phrase search engine optimization, this is commonly what it's referring to, is this organic section below the local section on that left-hand side. There are many, many factors in getting your business to appear on this left-hand side. Some of the factors, just to touch on a few, if you have video in your site, that helps. How your site is coded is a big factor in terms of your web designer, how they actually did the back coding and setting up of your website. The content of your website itself, in terms of if you're, for example, doing engine repair, you want that mentioned in your website, so you will appear for searches for engine repair in this organic section. On the right-hand side, you will see what is essentially known as the ads or sponsored link section below the map section on the right-hand side. Different businesses will appear throughout the day here. This is constantly changing. This is known as Google AdWords, and this is essentially pay-per-click. You're paying every time somebody clicks on you. You're not paying to be up there, but only essentially when somebody actually does click on your business. For a lot of business owners, this is your option to go directly through Google and do a Google AdWords or pay-per-click campaign unless you know of a optimization company or are approached by one that will attempt to get you onto the left-hand side. Statistically speaking, looking at who is clicking on the left-hand side compared to who is clicking on the right-hand side, it is almost exactly 70% of all searchers that make an action or click end up clicking on something on the left-hand side, which is either the local section or the organic section below. Almost exactly 30% end up clicking on the right-hand side in the ad section, or 3 out of 10 people end up clicking on the right-hand side on a pay-per-click ad. Some of the benefits of each section, well, I guess I will address the benefits and the drawbacks of each section. The benefits and drawbacks of the local section, one of the main benefits is one of the only areas on the search results page where you can have your phone number right there. They do not need to click and go to your website to give you a call, which is a huge benefit. You will not see this in every area of Google. They can simply click on you and go to your website, but they don't have to. That's the major benefit to being in that section, along with the positioning itself. If you think of how you read left to right, top to bottom. You want to appear on the top left portion as high up as possible. With that being said, the section below that, the regular organic listings below that, one of the drawbacks is you commonly will not see a phone number in that section. You will have to click to go to the person's website in order to get their contact information. Ultimately, phone calls are very valuable and oftentimes more valuable than even a click to your website. So you want to get those phone calls and new leads. It does have a description about the business or a little bit of information below it, which is an advantage over just name, address, and phone number in the local section. The right-hand side, you have the pay-per-click. Some of them have phone numbers, some of them don't. The ones with phone numbers are with what's a relatively new program, which is often referred to as Google Boost, that was just changed within the last week to be rebranded as Google AdWords Express. It allows you to put your phone number up there, and I do like these programs in that someone can give you a call without actually having to click on you. You'll see the A, the B, the C right there. Some of these are just regular AdWords campaigns without the phone number, which a lot of business owners are familiar with. Again, the drawback is you're paying every single time somebody is clicking on you, rather than just appearing on the left-hand side and not paying per click. Let me get into the local results section a bit, and that's what we specialize in. I will show you, I've already gone over the general information of where everything appears in the local results section. Let me get into the alternative to going to an individual's website, the place page. So let me show you one of those. And this is my client right here, Car Care Center. If I click on their place page, you see a variety of information that will appear. Google fine-tunes this page and changes it periodically, no major changes. The write a review section is fairly new. At the top, you're going to see the name of the business, as well as the address, general information, phone number. Again, a hot link to the website, so people are, and potential clients are able to click on that link and go to your website, even if they go to the place page. If they didn't click on your business name and go right to your web page directly and went to your place page instead. Also below that, you see write a review. This used to not be as much of a focus on the page, and as reviews are becoming more and more popular, you're starting to see Google highlight this more, and that's why it's in red right there. Categories they're targeting, location, number of reviews are posted up there. A small description is below that. And you will see in your description you want to mention everything that essentially you want to get business for. This individual specializes in estimates, transmission, engine repair, clutch replacement. You want to make sure you're mentioning everything that you do. And as a general rule, when it comes to advertising, you want to make sure you're mentioning everything you want business from rather than somebody calling you to ask you if you do that. And the main reason for that is if they don't see you mentioning that you do that, they may not even give you a call and go on to the next page for the next potential business. Look at their place page, see that they offer it, or their website, and call them rather than making several calls to find out if somebody handles what they want done. They will go to the page, see whoever mentions that they do that type of work, they will call them instead. So you want to make sure you're mentioning every single thing that you do. Photos, he currently does not have any photos up. Photos are easy to upload. You can have a JPEG file. Essentially, no file too large, but different photos of your business. You can upload up to 10 photos of your business. This is important depending on the line of work you're in. Say an auto body shop, before and after pictures are very helpful, the work you've done. Below that, you will see offers. And this is essentially the coupon section of your place page. Not a lot of people know this exists. You have the right to have up to, I believe it's 8 coupons in this section. This client of mine is doing several coupons. And it's a way, in terms of advertising, it's a way to track how many people are turning in coupons and a way to track how many people are going to that page, printing that out, and a way to track new clients as well. If you click on a coupon, it'll show where the business is located, but also when you click on one coupon, it shows them all. The coupons are easy to set up, and again, it's useful in bringing in and enticing new clients, but also it's a way to track your advertising as well. And again, there's the link to the website if a client wants to go right to the website. And lastly, you will see reviews at the bottom. Reviews are quite important and becoming very, very popular, hence the popularity with Yelp.com, which is quite popular, and most of you are familiar with Yelp. Yelp is basically and exclusively a review website, if you're not familiar with them. Looking at the reviews, you're going to have good and bad reviews up there, hopefully all good ones. Essentially, people can post whatever they want to post up there that have done business with you. This has been a hot topic. One of the hottest topics recently is the review section. Business owners are often frustrated if they have a bad review up there. That one bad review bothers them more than the 10 good ones that are up there. And as I'm sure you all agree, bad news can and will travel fast, and you don't ideally want any bad reviews up there. The number one question I'm receiving the most within the past couple months has been how to get a bad review off there. So let me go into that process a little bit in terms of how to get a review off there. You are able to do that in one of two ways, essentially. The review can come from Google. You'll see at the bottom here it says Yelp.com, RepairPal.com. Those are other websites that have reviews for this business owner. If this business owner is unhappy with the review, these are the Google reviews right here. There's Yelp and there's RepairPal. If he's unhappy with a review that RepairPal has, the business owner has to contact that website directly, call them or email them and contact them and request that the review, whether it be invalid, inaccurate, or what have you, be taken down. It is the right of that website to keep it up there or not, unfortunately. And this has become a huge problem for some business owners which have a inaccurate review up there and have had trouble taking it down. Now, there is one company out there that I know of that specializes in taking down reviews, and the name of that company is Reputation Defender. I've had mixed reviews from business owners in terms of dealing with them. I cannot really full-heartedly promote them or say that they're not a good company to work with. I have very limited experience in working with them directly. but that is the name of the company that specializes in taking down reviews. So that's a quick summary on reviews, and there'll be a question and answer session at the end. If you want to ask me more questions about any of this, I'll be happy to answer them. Now I'm going to get into the optimization process and exactly what we do in this local section. Moving back one step, you will see this box at the top as well. The box at the top, that is also pay-per-click. You will never see more than 4 websites up there, essentially 4 spots in that box. That is before the local section. It's at the very top of the left-hand side. That is ideal positioning. Generally speaking, the box at the top are the people that are not only paying the most for pay-per-click, but have a quality website, and Google finds them the most relative in terms of all the pay-per-click campaigns that are targeting that keyword phrase, finds them to be the best match. And it's not just how much you pay per month, but also if you're the best match for that keyword phrase. But you'll never see more in the top box there, but know that those are all pay-per-click campaigns. So let me get into actual local results rankings and local optimization. And there are essentially 6 factors I'll touch on. The local rankings and local optimization. Results are often determined by the IP address and the physical location you're in. If I go back here to another example here, the engine repair example. I did a search for engine repair Chicago. It's very common for people that conducting a search to type in zip codes as well. This local section will give you local options essentially for the area you're searching. Now if you don't type in an area, I'll show you that as an example. You'll notice that even though I did not type in Chicago, my IP address shows that I'm in Chicago, and it's bringing up a lot of local Chicago businesses. An IP address, just a quick background about the IP address, is that it's very similar to a physical address, almost like caller ID, which a lot of you are familiar with, I'm sure. Caller ID or IP address shows your actual physical location within reason. It bounces off a server when you log on to the internet, and where your connection is registered is where it's going to show your IP address in the city. Judging by these locations, my IP address is near all of these locations actually. So it's bringing me the most local results to my physical IP address. And the way results will work in this local section and in Google in general is that it'll work in one of 2 ways. It will work in that if you don't type in a location at all, it's going to bring up whatever is local to your IP address. Or if you do type in a location, I could type in Los Angeles. And obviously it's going to bring up options in Los Angeles. So you can be in, for example, in Los Angeles and type in Chicago to get Chicago results, or you can be within the city of Chicago and have a local IP address here, registered here, and you'll receive results in the city of Chicago. So you don't have to specify the area you're searching, but if you don't, it's going to revert back to the IP address that you have registered and where it's registered. In that local section, it's important where your physical location is a determining factor in where you're appearing, whether it be on page 5 or page 1 in that localized section on Google. Let me get back to Chicago here. You'll notice all these business locations when someone does a search for Chicago are located in Chicago, except for the very last one, it's Allsep. But there's several factors for why they're appearing. When there's pages upon pages, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's over 10 pages of results. there's several factors for why these businesses are appearing on page 1. Where you are located. If someone's doing a search for Chicago, being within the city limits of Chicago does help. You want to be located where you want to be appearing. Obviously, that's not going to be able to be located everywhere, but if you're located in the city in which the person is searching, that certainly helps. The business name, you have registered with Google Maps. Now we'll go back to this. My client here, Car Care Center, having the words car care in there, for example, helps when someone does a search for, say, car care or car care Chicago, for example, because it's in his business name. The words you have in your business name, along with the words you actually have in your URL or website address, do help in your positioning, which is important to know, obviously, right from the start in registering your business name with Google. You'll see some that go on and on. For example, if my client were to do Car Care Center, ASA, Inc., and auto repair and transmission repair, all as one business name, and add the categories to his business name, Google will pull that down and recognize that as not a correct match to his business name. They give a little leeway with that, but only so much. And so you can't include all the keyword phrases you want to appear for in your business name. They often will go to your website and compare it with your business name when they approve when you're first registering with Google. What keywords are you targeting? That's another very good topic. And the way that works is Google is going to pull up the exact matches first. So let me go back to my example here. For Engine Repair Chicago, one of the reasons these businesses are showing up in the local section on page 1 is they're targeting that exact phrase, Engine Repair Chicago. There may be a business on page 3 targeting Engine Chicago or Repair Chicago. It's going to pull up the exact matches first, the search engine and the crawling that it does. It's going to pull up the businesses that are registered with Google that are targeting those exact phrases or an exact match to what the person types in. They're going to bring up those businesses first in that local section. So it's important to target the exact phrases you want to appear for. With that being said, don't get too wrapped up in plurals of the word. Say, if I were to add an S, Engine Repairs Chicago, the results are not going to be drastically different. That's true for most industries. And so, you really don't need to get wrapped up in the plural versus the singular form of the word all that much. But make sure that the phrase is the exact phrase you want to appear for. And lastly, how your place page is put together actually is a big determinant in where you appear. How all this is put together is part of the reason that my client is appearing on page 1 as the second option in that local section. Going back, he is second out of everybody. And what you include and where you include it in your page is a big determining factor as well. So next, I'd like to show you a Google Analytics example. A lot of people are familiar with that phrase, Google Analytics. I know not everybody, every business owner is familiar with the reporting system. With that being said, let me first, I would like to show how I get to Google Analytics. A lot of people do actually wonder how I do get to Google Analytics. Okay, so the example, one of my clients, the example is a client of mine, and he is signed in up top. I signed him in to show you his analytics example. By clicking on the arrow, it's going to give me some different options here. You want to go to Account Settings. Out of the page of options, you want to click on Google Places. And then once you click on Google Places, his report will come up. and yours will as well. This is essentially your activity from that local section. It's not through everything you have set up through Google. It's that localized section. And this activity, and you're able to actually determine what exact date you want to pull your results from. Do you want the results of the last week? Were you on vacation for the past week? The last 2 months? You're able to pull any time period you want. It'll show you impressions, which is how many times you actually showed up for a search, and then actions, when somebody actually clicked on your business. He's shown up for over 34,000 searches in the last approximately 30 days, and over 1,000 actions on his business. 400 clicks to his website. How many clicks for driving directions? Over 300 clicks for information on his map section on how to get to his business. It shows you your top phrases where you're appearing. It's not necessarily everything people are searching for, but the top 10 and where your website is actually appearing. And then it'll even break down driving directions where people are clicking on how to get to your business when they go to the driving directions section and how to get to your business, where those clicks are coming from. And these are all pulled from their actual IP addresses, so where these potential clients, where their internet is registered. And you'll see the different various local zip codes there. On the right-hand side, you will actually see his profile, set up his description, everything he has set up for his place page, photos, everything is all right there. And you can simply go in, click on the edit button, and edit any of these sections. So that's a brief overview of the analytics example. Next, I'd like to talk about the Google Maps phone application, and I'm going to touch on some different new offerings from Google. Their phone application, or Google Maps, essentially looks like the Places section, so not the Everything section of Google that is where everyone begins, and that's what the Everything section, that if you're using a desktop, that's what you're seeing, or a laptop. If I go to the Places section, it's going to show local options. And this is similar to the Google Maps application, which is one of the most downloaded phone applications out there. You're going to see local, that local section is essentially what you're going to see, and a little bit of information, and then an option to go to their place page. This is very important because each and every month, as you all know, more and more people are not only have smartphones, but are using smartphones for internet purposes, in essentially replacing the laptop they may be carrying around. And a lot of it, too, is the convenience factor as well. Okay, so I will go back to the beginning of my search here. I'd like to talk about some of the other offerings Google has. Google Boost, which was recently reworded as Google AdWords Express, which is what you see on the right-hand side here with the little map indicator and the in blue, and then also the address of the business and the phone number. Again, the address does not have to be listed. That's up to the business owner, and there is an option to hide the address if you wish to do so. And there is just one on the right-hand side right now. These are also Boost subscribers, and I'm still saying Boost, but it was just recently renamed Google AdWords Express. A program that was discontinued in April was Google Tags, which was very popular in the local section here. It was a yellow tag that highlighted one phrase for your business. Essentially, if you were running a promotion or whatever, it would appear in yellow right below and essentially get you to stick out in that local section. For whatever reason, Google discontinued that program, and they're constantly trying new programs and discontinuing some if they don't have a large enough response for it. As you may have heard as well, Google Plus is a new offering that I'll touch on very briefly. This is more in Brandon's, specifically in Brandon's industry in terms of social media. Google Plus was launched very recently. It's essentially their offering to combat with Facebook, and is very similar to Facebook actually. And Brandon can touch more on exactly what Google Place or what Google Plus is in the future. If any of you want to contact him, I'm sure he would be more than happy to go over Google Plus and that new program. Overall, I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. I'm going to pull up right now my personal information. If you would like to contact me, you're more than happy to do so. There isn't any charge for a consultation for me to go over the phone with you or in person what we can do for you. Again, we do specialize in local optimization, and we're quite good at getting page one placement for my clients, depending on what area they're targeting. Generally speaking, the larger the area you want to show up on page one for, say 100 towns versus 5 towns, it's more work on our end, and then it's a little more expensive for you. But generally speaking, we are quite reasonable, anywhere from 100 to 600 a month. My average client spends just over 200 a month. So quite reasonable compared to some of the pay-per-click campaigns. And my direct line, 773-682-5530. You can reach me via email, blucky, BLUCKAY, @searchlinksolutions.com. Also, you can check out our website, which is currently being redone, but our website, which was created years ago, that is being revamped right now, is searchlinksolutions.com. And with that, I'm going to hand things back over to Brandon, and I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions.
Well, thanks, Bill. That was fantastic. I know I learned a lot from this. If you do have any questions, there's a box into the area what you have down there. I know we have one question. We have a couple questions. One person asked, Jim Ardito, to be specific, asked, can you please go over how to set up a place page?
Absolutely. I can get into that. Let me get back to an example here.
You know what, there's a couple more questions before we jump into that real quick, because that might take a little bit of time. Sure. I just want to make sure we get through a couple of these questions. There's one question in specifically, Bill, that mentioned, you showed an example of the auto repair company.
Sure.
Is it different for service-based companies versus like a company like auto repair that's more of like a B2C type company?
I will touch on Google does not have a local section for every single keyword phrase out there. They essentially determine a local section and create a local section only for what they view keyword phrases that are actual topics for or related to an actual business. So engine repairs related, that's a legitimate business category that businesses would want to be in. There are certain phrases that maybe I'm trying to think of a good example that you're not going to see a local section in because there's really not a strong need for businesses to appear up there, but only really it's for research purposes. Say if someone were researching a history project and looking up, history, you may see a lot of organic listings for links to different sites, but no local section because it's not really something that a business wants to appear under.
Okay. Well, for instance, like let's say accounting or like financial services, there are keywords in there that could be taken advantage for a place page.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to show you a quick example. I'm doing the search for certified financial planner. I'm going to do Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. So for that specific phrase, there's no local section for it. And that's more of, sure, no, I'm sorry. Let me show that. Okay. So for that specific section, there is not a local section for that. Let me do accounting.
Is the reason why there's not a local section, is that because no one has registered a local page for that specific key phrase, or is it because Google doesn't have the word for that?
Excellent question. And generally speaking, Google won't create a localized section if someone's trying to get underneath or get placement in that local section if it doesn't already exist. I have had Google create a localized section where that business is the only business appearing there. Generally speaking, the local section has to already be there. That I haven't seen them do that in quite a while, creating a local section when one isn't there. So I did a search for certified financial planner, which is really related more to an individual. I did a search for accounting, which is a main business category, and you see a lot of accounting firms in that local section.
Okay. All right,
so hopefully that answers the question. But you really want to target what already has a local section. And it's not simply just registering that will get you to appear on page 1, but you will be registered and you will appear somewhere. It may be page 4 or 5, depending on how everything else is put together.
Gotcha. Okay, great. All right. So do you want to show Jim and everybody else, how to set up a local page then, real quick?
Sure, absolutely. I can definitely do that. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you have a Gmail account. Excuse me, not a local, a Gmail account, which I'm going to go ahead and sign out.
Okay.
Here to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so once you're signed out, you have to sign in, use your username and password if you have a business Gmail account, or you can even have a personal Gmail account with Google, but you have to have an account to create a listing. If you do not have an account, you need to create one. You click on this create an account icon, and it's similar to signing up for any type of website. You enter your general information in there, and essentially you have a Gmail account. You're able to receive email once you create that. It's free. It takes about 15 minutes. Once you create your account, I'm going to go back to just the main Google page. Okay. Once you create your account, you can essentially go to Google Maps. As soon as you go to Google Maps, and you'll see it at the top as well, there's images, videos, there's a lot of different links right from the Google homepage. Click on the Maps link. This is the first thing you will see, is the Google Maps homepage, essentially. You'll notice right on the left-hand side, put your business on Google Maps. Excellent. So you want to click on that once you've signed in and you have an account through Gmail. Once you do that and sign in, it'll then allow you, once you click on put your business onto Google Maps, it'll bring you right into, and you'll start filling out the information for your Google Place page, for your local listing and your Google Place page. Name of the business, address, phone number, etc. Just basic information. And it essentially should take at least a half hour to do. And you want to put some time and thought into what categories you want to appear for, what keyword phrases you want to target, and then your description in your page and so forth. You can target up to 5 different keyword phrases. There is some limitations. It's 5 keyword phrases, where as opposed to Google AdWords, you can target 300. You know, under the pay-per-click section, you can target 300, different phrases, except your budget's going to be split in 300 different directions if you allocate funds equally. Okay. Does that kind of answer your question?
That does.
Okay.
That definitely sets it up. Jim said specifically, awesome. So thank you, Jimbo. So great. Well, I want to again thank everybody for joining us. Bill is a great guy. He really knows his stuff. I know we were in the same circles. Like I said, we're strategic partners. We refer clients over to him. Everyone that we talk to that uses SearchLink and Bill just say phenomenal things, quote unquote. A lot of sayings are, he's professional. He is the epitome of being a professional because he is just constantly working. I mean, I don't know besides myself who really works harder than Bill Luckey, to be quite honest. So if you have a chance and you're interested in this stuff, I do highly recommend that you contact Bill for a free consultation at the very least. Like I said, we've worked with other companies who've offered SEO work, but none that have offered the same results and the same price point, which results in a much higher return on your investment ultimately. Than working with SearchLink and Bill. So I want to thank again everyone for showing up. And one other thing before we get going, I do want to switch it over and essentially show you a quick special announcement that we have over here at Donuts. So we can just, I'm switching over the screens as we speak. We have a special little announcement coming up. And a special offer for everyone who's attended today and is a participant over here. So let the computers work a little bit. We are going to switch it over to here, and you can see that our special announcement essentially is we have a new webinar course. We've done, one of our services at Donuts is LinkedIn marketing, and we do a lot of it. We manage it for a lot of clients. I do a ton of speaking on it. I've been speaking on LinkedIn marketing for almost 2 years, and we have a system set up here that generates results for our clients. And so what we've done, when we found out recently that a lot of people still don't understand how to use LinkedIn, and not a lot of people also, we want to make sure we're offering people a service that they can use without having to break the bank. So we thought, what better way than to offer people a webinar, which is essentially 4 weeks long. It's an hour each week, so it's very accessible to others, and essentially teaches you how to do what we do, and it really teaches you all about LinkedIn, how to set up an efficient manner of actually generating leads and turning into new business by using LinkedIn. So really here we broke it down very simply. You know why. Obviously, if you don't know how to use LinkedIn, it's a great way of learning how to. If you are not getting any business from LinkedIn, which we find out is about 90% of people who are using LinkedIn, if you're not getting any business, then this is a great platform for you to learn. And then also, if you're looking for a new and efficient way to grow your company, this is another great way of doing this. A lot of people have still cold calling, which I am just amazed by, but it doesn't get the type of results, and this can actually be a substitute for that. We don't tell you to really cut out your networking or any other. Obviously, you want to include your SEO, your local SEO campaign into all this activity, but this is a great way of going about it. And then who is it perfect for? It's for beginners to advanced LinkedIn users. You'd be amazed at what type of tactics you pick up. Specifically salespeople, professionals, owners, marketers, people who are in charge of generating leads and closing the business. And then when it starts next week, a week from today, again, it's during your lunch hours, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. every Tuesday starting August 2nd for 4 weeks. It ends August 23rd. Each course, each session will be recorded and put up onto our website, which if you attend and you actually are invested in it, you will have access to that. So if you're not able to show up one day, or you come late, or something pops up, don't worry, you'll have access to that specific presentation, and then you'll have access to all 4 of those presentations for a month after the course as well. So it'll allow you to catch up, refresh your memory in case you don't remember. So we want to make sure we're building the value in here. And then also very simply, you just have to be at the comfort of your computer. You could be out at a coffee shop, you could be at home, you could be on the plane, whatever the case may be. As long as you have internet access and your computer, you will be able to watch and attend the webinar. will be hands-on. The overview is very simple. It shows you it's a 4-week course. We go from setting up a strategy for success and results, optimizing your personal profile and company page before you are actually prospecting, and then how to find your best clients by using different areas of LinkedIn and generating new business, how to be more searchable for your clients and customers throughout LinkedIn. LinkedIn is obviously not local SEO. And then also the last is free account versus a paid account, which one's better for me. And the last section of all this is how do I track my activities and measure my success. So these are 6 bullet points in which you'll get out of the 4-week course. We have a special discount if you are already a part of our community on Facebook. Then you will get a discount, and if you attended today's webinar. If you are not a part of it, I highly suggest you go to our Facebook page. You simply just like us, be a part of our community. It's www.facebook.com/donuts, and then we'll send you a discounted code, which is 50% for the entire webinar course. And there are only 20 discounts right now, so it's first come, first serve. And we're sending out the invitations today, so you'll get the link to the actual invitation and how to sign up and set up everything. And then we'll give you the discounted code before we actually do that, as long as you're part of our community again on Facebook. If you have any questions, you can call me or you can email me at dlewin@donuts. I missed that Z down there, but it's donuts, DOUGHNUTTZ.com. Or you can call me directly at the office, 773-661-5332. So again, thank you to Bill. Thank you to everyone that attended. Bill will, again, contact Bill for your local SEO. We do highly suggest